those vocals, and those background vocals, ba 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 da da. I'm not doing it justice, but it's brilliant.
Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Into the Music. Got something good for you, Greg. This is a song I absolutely love. Not
Oh,
to, not to, not to, influence you in either direction, but it's called "The Great Curve," and it's by the Talking Heads, or Talking Heads. It's not the Talking
the
Heads.
great curve, and it's about time, Talking Heads, because I know that they are one of your favorite groups.
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
was waiting, and that's a group that I know some songs,
Uh huh.
but it's a band that I've always wanted to really dive into. For some
Okay.
reason, I haven't.
This,
So
this this should blow you away, but we'll find out.
the name of the song's not familiar. So let me dive in. I know it. I know it. I know it. I have not heard this in years, um, because I'm just not. It's not like I don't like Talking Heads. It's just you know it, they're not like the band that I really know a lot about. This song I know I've heard. Actually, I think Chris played this for me years ago when he used to live um, here. So and he forgot, and I forgot. Anyway, but it's a great song, and again, I haven't heard it in years. So let's go.
Sometimes the world has a load of questions. Seems like the world knows nothing at all. The world is near, but it's out of reach. Some people touch it, but they can't hold on. She is moving to describe the world. She has messages for everyone. She is moving by remote control.
Those vocals, and those background vocals, ba 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 da da. I'm not doing it justice, but it's brilliant, brilliant.
The guys who are invisible. The world has a way of looking at people. Sometimes we feel that the world is wrong.
Bass,
She
that
loves the
bass.
world and all the people in it. She shakes them up when she starts to walk. She is only partly human. She finds the possibilities. Holding on for an
Not gonna stop. I was gonna stop. Yeah, that's crunchy, man. That's crunchy. I mean, this is just like a freight train. It just keeps on just pushing forward, and just throwing all these different sounds. That guitar that just came in just before, just crunchy, just this real crazy sound and distorted kind of. And distorted's not the right word, but just maybe, but just real, just pushing it, and the bass and just the pulsating beat. This is great. This is classic Talking Heads right here.
Moves on a woman's hips. Moves and it swivels her bumps. Moves on a woman's hips. Moves and it bounces and humps. What a night! She gonna open her eyes up. What a night! She gonna open her eyes up. She gonna open, 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 open.
All the vocals in my head. Crazy. Guitar again. That guitar's sick. It's like I ran like a marathon race, whatever. I don't know. That just saw that from the beginning to the end, and I'm still moving. It's like I gotta calm
Yeah.
myself down.
So I gotta tell you, I know the song,
Oh man. Okay.
but again, the good news, usually with a few of the songs that I've kind of like surprised you, like I know them, is that it's been like a long, long, long time ago. It's not something that, you know,
Mhm.
um, here's the thing. I think I've actually, you played me the song back when you were living here. And
Oh wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And that stuck out, you know, but then that was a long time ago. Folks,
Yeah.
we're talking like 20,
Yeah.
20 years, right?
Right.
And so that song starts, I'm like, oh man, I know this.
But didn't you find that there's so much going on in that song that
Well,
that
but
you can't really take it in the first time anyway?
but that's the thing. So like, you know, we have to be real. So if I know the song, you know, I have to listen to it. I'm not going to just fake it, right? We're not going to do that. So full disclosure to the audience, I know the song, but what I was so happy about was like, oh my God, you know, I really like this song. I remember when I
And
heard
you
it,
had no
it
idea it
was
was
just
that
right.
one because you weren't
No,
familiar
I
with
didn't know
that.
the song.
Okay.
No, no.
Yeah.
And
Not
and
that
then
you would know from the title anyway, because they
yeah.
never met, you know, those words are not in the song. So
And so the song's going on, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and bop 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 shooter bop, you know what? Probably they weren't doing bop shooter bop bop, but they were doing like these background vocals, and the vocals coming in and lay it and like that all over, and
yeah,
the song's pulsating, it's moving, it's like I actually identified it as a freight train. It was just like, you know, going,
oh
you know,
yeah,
full
yeah,
steam ahead, and you had just the vocals, the back end vocals coming in, you know, layered, you know, and then Burns' voice is just like, you know, lassoing it all in and just
yeah.
tying it all in, and then again, just um, again the vocals, the layered. I love songs like that, you know,
We,
where the producers and the mixers, I'm gonna bring it in,
yeah,
but like, you know, definitely the production staff had a major hand in, and I'm sure the band too, but just in developing the song, you know, putting all these sounds in and the vocals here, there. Um, the guitar was really cool.
Did you look up anything about this song? Well, you just
No,
heard it. So
no,
the
yeah,
guitar player is Sky. I hope I pronounced his last name right. Adrian Belew. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
that, yes,
He
yeah,
actually joined King Crimson
yes.
after this.
No, and I know his
And he
guitar,
gets sounds out of that thing is amazing.
and I know his guitar sound. And actually, I stopped. If I stopped the song, whatever, or I was like that guitar. I actually said it was crunchy. I'm like, well, it's not crunchy. It's got some sort of distortion. I really couldn't like put my finger on what was unique or distinct about that guitar, but you knew that it was,
But
and it
it was
had that
wild,
certain
man.
sound.
It was a wild,
That's
wild.
Adrian. And I'm like, well, now it makes sense because I've heard a lot of his stuff, and that's his signature sort of guitar sound. And
Yeah,
so, wow, yeah. So with the guitar, and it was just, it just didn't stop, you know. I
right.
actually, at the end of the song, I was I was joking around that I was like, you know, like I ran a marathon, you know, because I
Yeah,
just couldn't stop moving and grooving, you know, and so I might have lost like 5 pounds, you know.
that's the way to do it, man.
Right, there you go, you know. Whew. But you know, really, really great song. So, you know, we're gonna have songs like that. You know, I'm really bad with song titles. And then I'm like, you know, I heard the song, but um, you know what? I'm so glad that that this happened this way, because
Yeah,
there are some great songs that we want you, the audience, to listen to. You know, if you didn't know, I know a lot of people know Talking Heads, but this song right here that goes back a long way, you know,
yeah.
this is great stuff, you know, and I really hope you got that when you were listening to that song with me.
Now let me throw some little few facts in here.
Yeah.
Um, now, and this relates to some things you touched on, where you were saying it sounded like they're going bop she bop, right?
Yeah.
With the background
Yeah.
vocals, they're actually singing lyrics. Okay.
I know.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because when I listened to it again to prepare for this, I was trying to follow those the background vocals,
Right.
and it was hard to do while listening to
Yeah.
the main vocal melody line. But okay, this is the Talking Heads. What is it? Their fourth album, and they were fairly stripped down sound wise and instrumentation wise before this, except for on their third album they got more. On their third album, no, the second album, they started collaborating with Brian Eno.
Yeah.
And for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know,
Makes sense.
he was a member of Roxy Music, and he did his own stuff in his own right. And also, he's a pretty famed producer. Also, he worked with U2 and well, plenty of others that I can't even think of right now. But David Bowie, who did a lot of collaboration with David Bowie, both songwriting and production wise.
Mhm.
And he did stuff with David Byrne after this too. And so there was some of that influence, but also they brought in all this other instrumentation and they started layering things for this album called, I don't know if I mentioned the album name, is Remain in Light. It came out in 1980. And So this was an album where they were experimenting with polyrhythms and things like that. And this song,
What's a polyrhythm? Can you
polyrhythm is,
explain that?
as far as the definition I know, is that you could have two rhythms that are playing on top of one on top of the other,
Yeah.
and they don't sound like they're in sync, but over a certain period of time, they become in sync. Okay, so ultimately they are in sync.
Yeah.
It's just that you have to wait till you have that common beat. Okay, I hope I defined that right. Someone will probably correct me if I have it wrong.
So the
'Cause I'm
mixing
not really
engineer.
up on percussion terminology.
So the mixing engineer really has, I think, a major role in
Well,
trying to get that to.
no, they're playing it. Well, they already have it arranged that way.
Wow.
I mean, it could be the engineer does it. It could be whoever edits it. However you do it, that's
Right.
But
But that's not playing. That's not coming originally live out of the band, right? They're kind of taking
no,
notes.
they've done this live where they do that too.
That's
In fact,
incredible.
Radiohead has done that. They do that in some of the songs on Live from the Basement. They do it where they do it live.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
you just have two drummers going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So one of the things I really liked about this song is, well, I thought the lyrics were really cool. I can't always define interpret what they're about, but I just love the line, the world moves on a woman's hips. The world moves and it swivels and bops. I just like that whole thing.
Yeah.
And of course, the image of a woman's hips swiveling, is always good.
Not bad.
So, yeah, I just thought that was really, really imaginative, and
Yeah.
The imagery is good, and it kind of goes with the whole. It was such a rhythmic song.
Yeah.
And just so much energy in it.
Yeah.
And they could have gone on. When they did the fade out. They were still wailing
Oh
away.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would like to hear some. Maybe they do have longer versions. And some live versions.
I can imagine like live, they could probably even go longer, right? Maybe double it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have. I used to be big into Talking Heads, but I haven't really,
Yeah.
gone beyond that. And that was years ago. So I'm kind of listening to them for the first time in a way
Yeah.
now.
So I'm thinking this is like the first of a long journey into Talking Heads.
Yeah.
I really want to take that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Really, really good first big
So
step.
this is a good starting point, huh?
Yeah. And
You
again,
may have heard it before. I mean,
someone might be like, well, Greg, you
songs
heard it,
are-
but sometimes you have to kind of cover, old ground, before
Yeah.
you can move in that new direction, just
Yeah.
gotta, the one step backwards to two steps forward or something, or
Let's hope so. It's usually one step forward and two step back for me, but okay. Wait, I got to plug something. David Byrne, the front man for the Talking Heads, has a book called How Music Works.
okay.
Really good. And they talk about this, this album in that. It's just, in his inimitable way of describing things. It's all in there. It's a really good book, actually. And he talks about how technology how it informs music, and really,
Interesting.
when you think about it, how technology, so much, a new technology comes out, and musicians are like, we're going to jump on that, make as much use as we can of it. So, we can thank all the engineers and inventors out there
Yeah.
for this. We all adore the rock stars, but at the same time, it wouldn't be
yeah.
possible without this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
No?
Really. So yeah, I mean, it's the engine underneath the hood of that beautiful car.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
making that move.
Yeah.
Um,
It broadens the palette they could use so greatly.
Talking Heads, do they still get together every once in a while? Like, or are they?
I don't
They're kinda done.
think so. I saw something, I think it was on Amazon Video, I'm not sure, that David Byrne did fairly recently,
Yeah.
called Utopia. I recommend that too. I wasn't crazy about it with the opening, the way they did the opening, although it's a stage production.
Yeah.
And it's musical, and he does some Talking Head songs within it. um, I've started watching it and I thought, wow, they're doing some really cool visual things, but I didn't like them. I didn't like the introductory song. And I thought, maybe this might look cool, but maybe it's a dud musically.
Hmm.
But once they were past that, the other songs they did and so on, and the choreography and everything was really cool. It was just really cool. It's a multimedia thing, and I highly recommend it. It's called Utopia.
But it wasn't Talking Heads. It was David Byrne. It was like a
It's
project
David Byrne, but he
of
did some
his.
Talking Head songs in it,
Okay. Oh,
as well as original songs for that production itself.
interesting. All right, cool.
So he's been really he's been busy, and he produced a lot of other people's music over the years too.
Yeah.
So Talking Heads themselves. Also the drummer came out with a book. Who happens to be married to the bass player from Talking Heads. He came out with a book recently. I forgot the name of it, but that got good reviews too.
Excellent.
So they're a talented bunch.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I'm glad you liked it. I know you've heard it before, but I'm glad you gave it a close listen and really, that you really appreciate it, because this is definitely one of my favorites.
yeah, it definitely had me moving, and I just couldn't stop. So you can't go wrong with that.
Hey, you
So
lost 5 pounds. How can you argue with that? I'm not saying you needed to. I don't know. I only see you from like the chest up, so I don't know. I don't know how big your butt is now. So
let's leave
it's
it
5 pounds smaller now.
let's leave it at that. All right,
Don't worry. I don't want to go any further.
everyone. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you back again. And Chris, take care.
All right. You too, Greg.